Hi and welcome to Redeye. Today I'm here with Martin Jönsson, CEO of Alzecure. Welcome, Martin.
Thank you.
We are here to discuss the big deal you announced with Eli Lilly, so a big congratulations.
Thanks so much.
But before we dig into the deal, what can you say about the Alzecure? What do you do besides signing deals with the largest bio company in the world?
We are a biotech here in Stockholm, Sweden. We develop therapies for Alzheimer's and pain. We are spin out of AstraZeneca and built with initial funding from the Swedish Alzheimer's Fund.
And the candidate that you have out-licensed is ACD680 within your alstatin portfolio. And it's a so-called gamma secretase modulator. Can you describe how this molecule works within Alzheimer's?
Absolutely. So gamma secretase modulator focusing on diminishing the production of toxic proteins that destroys the brain and builds up into plaque. So what we do, we modulate the production of proteins. So instead of producing more of the toxic ones, we change it so you develop actually more of the protective ones, which can save the brain.
And how does it compare to the antibodies that are approved for Alzheimer's treatment today?
Yes, so the antibodies, they go in and clean the brain on toxic proteins and toxic plaques. But they go into a brain which already is destroyed or harmed. What we're focusing on is to see to it that you don't produce these toxic proteins and instead focusing on that you are producing what is potentially protective proteins.
And if we move over to the deal, $10 million upfront, total deal value of $1 billion with mid-single digit royalties on future sales. So the deal is quite back heavy. What's your comments on the deal arrangement?
We are very happy with the deal. We are extremely happy with having the opportunity to work with Lilly. We think that the stream, how the deal is built, is very healthy for the company. So we feel very, very comfortable.
And can you elaborate on the collaboration you will have with Eli Lilly? Will Lilly take sole responsibility for the clinical studies? And do you believe they will move fast or will they progress more slowly?
Yes, what's interesting here is that they do not only in-license the asset and the program, they also want to collaborate with us. So we will be there and collaborate them on this development. And of course, now this asset is in-licensed by Lilly. So Lilly will decide on the development plan, but our feeling is that Lilly is very committed to this program and they are very committed to Alzheimer's and have been it for decades. So we feel extremely comfortable with having Lilly as a partner. And as we both know, Lilly is currently the most successful pharmaceutical company in the world and most highly valued. In our board, we have Jan Lundberg, who used to be the global head of research and development of Lilly and is, I would say, standing behind what today is Lilly's very successful pipeline. And we've always been very impressed by Lilly with regard to how they work, their culture and everything. So, yes.
Is it too early for you to elaborate on in which areas you will collaborate, if it's regarding specific projects, for example, near Restore, or is it more broadly collaborations?
The collaboration is on alstatin, and then exactly what it will look like, we will discuss more in the future. But this is now Lilly's asset, and we are there to support them in the best possible way.
Another pharma giant, Roche, is also developing a gamma secretase modulator, and they will provide a phase 2 data this year. How do your candidate compare to Roche's?
Yes, yeah, so we are extremely happy that Roche have been committed to the gamma secretase modulator field. They've already have positive phase 1 data, and they have been running a big trial in phase 2 with treating for more than 18 months. In line with what you have said, they have communicated that they will have an interim readout in 2026. And what they have achieved is validating this approach. What we have done is to have synthesized what we believe are their molecule and their lead molecule that they now have in phase 2. And based on the data that we have, the comparative data, we feel very, very comfortable, and we believe that we, with our molecule, has a potential best in class.
And as I'm aware, these are the only 2 candidates, gamma secretase modulators in clinical phase. And what can you say regarding future competition, perhaps? Is it easy to develop a gamma secretase modulator?
It is not easy to develop gamma secretase modulators. Many have tried. It's also a field where you have a lot of patents, so to navigate this field also with regard to patents are also very, very tricky. So so it's a tricky field.
Interesting. And if we move over to your other Alzheimer's project, NeuroStore ACD856, you will soon start a phase 2 study. What can you say about this?
Yeah, so I think we have a very, very good portfolio when it comes to Alzheimer's. So Alzecure, as we have talked about, but also NeuroRestore. And what does NeuroRestore do? NeuroRestore is focusing on improving learning and memory capabilities. And here we last year got funding from the European Innovation Council. So we are now planning to start this trial in early Alzheimer's patients this year. Where we will focus on cognition and safety. And as we see it, these different therapies are complementing each other.
And you recently announced a share issue of 30 million SEK that is fully secured. And how should we think about the timelines here? You just today announced a deal which made the share price go up. Did the negotiations go rapidly to the end of the...
That depends on how you define when you start a dialogue, but we have now finalized it. So, and we will not change anything when it comes to this rights issue. We believe that this money that is coming into the company can really build a positive value for the existing shareholders. So we will continue driving that.
And the final question. How do you think the deal with Lilly will impact your out-licensing possibilities for your other candidates going forward?
I'm sure it will be very positive for us. It's validating us as a company and our science and quality and so on. And as you know, we have the Alzheimer's project that we talked about, but we also have our pain projects. We have ACD440, where we have positive data in neuropathic pain, and where we last year got orphan designation from the FDA. This year got orphan designation from EMA, and we also have positive feedback from the FDA on a potential pivotal trial. So there we will work on out-licensing. And then we also have a TrkA-NAM for osteoarthritis, and we are driving that one. And we just came with positive data, preclinical, comparing to NGF antibodies with regard to osteoarthritis. So we have a lot to work with. So we look forward focusing on business development.
And an additional question on that. Now, since you have more cash on hand, will that change your planning for clinical studies going forward?
Yeah, this is something that we will take up for discussion and again, of course, with the board. So, but of course, it's creating more opportunities for us.
Thank you for joining us today, and congratulations again, Martin, and to the team of Alzecure.
Thank you very much, Philip.
And thank you for watching.